Okay. So this is the project which we have created. Okay. So let me summarize what we have covered so far. Okay. So we are able to create future files, and in the future files we were able to create the scenarios, and we worked on scenario outline, and we worked on background, we worked on tags, and we worked on hooks, and most importantly, how we run the feature file with the help of runner class, and what properties which we have to mention in the runner class. We have to mention future to identify which features to be executed. We have to mention glue to identify where the step definitions are available. We need to mention plugin to say what kind of reports that has to be generated. And we also worked on page object model, page factory model. We created step definitions, right? Yeah. So these are the things which we have done. Okay. So there is one thing which I want to mention in the today's class. So if you remember, if you gone through the previous classes, or if you remember the previous classes, okay. So we have a initialize driver where we are initializing the driver. Okay. So here we might not every time we want to run on Firefox, not every time we want to run on Chrome, not every time we want to run on IA. Okay. So it depends on the situation. We might decide to run on different browser. So depends on which browser you mentioned, so based on that you will be creating the corresponding driver object, and we'll be moving on. But which browser has to be taken where it is mentioned. So if it is a Chrome, let's run it on the Chrome, but where that is mentioned. Okay. So I have created a properties file. You can see that in the resources config folder, I have created one folder, folder called config, and inside that I created a properties file, config.properties file. Okay, so everybody aware of the properties file concept. It has a key value pair. So I mentioned the browser name. The browser name is Firefox. So whenever you're going to create the driver object, it will get the browser name from the config.properties, and you make use of it. Based on that, you will create the corresponding browser. Okay, if the browser is Firefox, you create the Firefox driver. If the browser is Chrome, you create the Chrome driver. Okay, and okay, so we have a read properties class which is used for reading the properties from the properties file. So when you're creating an object for the read properties, you have to mention the path of the file, and then call this method get property value. By passing the key, you'll get the value, that is browser value. Okay, so this is what I wanted to mention in the today's class. And Akmal, so I supposed to complete this topic in the previous session only. The only reason which I moved for today is to discuss about class browser testing that you have asked.
Yeah, that is correct, Sudhir.
Okay, yeah. So officially, Cucumber does not have any concept of cross browser testing. So I was gone through the, so far I have not talked about cross browser testing in any of my trainings. Okay, because Cucumber has some limitations, right? So when we are using with JUnit, not with the TestNG, right? So it has its own advantages, and it has its own disadvantages. So one of the advantages that we discussed is it is user friendly. It is the test cases are more readable comparatively any other test cases in any other automation frameworks. You can able to read your test cases in a plain English text. Okay, so that is a major purpose of using the Cucumber. And when it comes to cross-browser testing, I do not find any uh, any good solution. I found a few of the solutions, but if you implement, you will be losing a lot of other stuff.
Okay.
So I was almost almost a day I worked on the Cucumber cross-browser testing. Okay, so there are a couple of solutions which I mentioned in different places. Each and every solution I tried it out, and so not everybody experienced. Okay, so they just give probably it can work. Okay, everybody has given the suggestions. It can work like this, but when it comes to the implementation, none of the solution worked.
Okay.
And
But
to make it work could be possible, but I'm telling there will be a lot of other dependencies that you will be bringing to the Cucumber, which does not a good solution in the later stages, which I just simply ignored it. Maybe if you feel that somebody has done it, okay, I doubt, but if you can bring up any reference, definitely I can help you on that. To everybody, not only you, to other people in the class, and to previous uh, even I work for Cucumber in my company, but yeah, so we haven't developed the cross browser testing. Running the things in parallel itself is a big thing in Cucumber. And coming to the cross browser testing, we can manage. Say you can define which browser you want to test. In the config properties, you can mention what browser you wanted to use. Okay, so yeah, all the tests will run on Firefox, or all the tests we can run on Chrome, depends on what value we mentioned here. But running some test in Chrome, running some test in Firefox, there is no I mean, running a login feature in Firefox, running a profile feature in Chrome, I don't see any possible solution.
okay. So in that case, since you have set it up the file path for the Firefox, right? So that's
yeah.
I mean the Firefox. And if you wanted to mention the Chrome browser, then we need to set it up the Chrome browser path, right?
That's it. You can make some hard coding. Okay, so here in the background, open the Chrome browser. In the profile feature, open the Firefox browser. Okay, but that is not the right solution, right? So hard coding the things in the future files, and it does not a right thing to do. Okay,
so should they I can, as you know, I'm working in the corporate level, so sometimes I was totally responsible for it, building the framework and everything. For example, if a new application comes up, and then I get the responsibility of creating the framework and everything, which is I'm doing it. But my question and concern comes just like whenever it's like I don't want to it just it relies on me, and then after I'm running the Cucumber and they wanted to get report on me, I have to report them, right? So instead of that,
yes.
Sorry, someone else talking. Sorry.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So the alternative way of I'm thinking is just the scenario that something that I just can automatically can be automatically can be run it through like a Jenkins. So does that Cucumber has some sort of the configuration with the Jenkins or anything?
You just see when it comes to, okay, let me give you an example on that. Okay, what is the inputs for Jenkins? Jenkins job. the
Right.
file.
Jenkins jar. It's a Maven jar, which is a Maven jar that.
Jenkins job. Okay. The
Uh-huh.
input for Jenkins job, there are multiple inputs. One is shell script,
Uh-huh.
Ant script, Maven script, batch script. Okay. So to a Jenkins job, you can give a specific script that can be taking care of executing the test. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So in our case, for our project, to a Jenkins job, give the Maven script as the input. When somebody invokes the Jenkins job, that will invoke the Maven script that will run your test. Okay, that will run your test. So if you remember from the pom.xml, okay, we could able to run our test. Just in the Jenkins job, just give the path of the pom.xml, and there is a column called gold in the Jenkins job. There is a column called goal. Okay, in the goal you mention clean test verify. That's it.
So, okay.
Maybe you can tell to your Maven administrator or Jenkins administrator. Okay, so execute this pom.xml and make sure give the goal as clean test verify. That's all.
Yeah, but for my role and responsibility, it comes toward the automation. With even I get the responsible for the Jenkins running the configuring the Jenkins and stuff.
Okay, so when you configure a Jenkins job, just make sure give the path of the pom.xml and give the goal as clean test verify. If you don't know how to do that, I'll share you one one small video how to create a Jenkins job, how to invoke the test from the Jenkins job.
Okay. So yeah,
video.
yeah. And apart from the side, as I had worked experiences, we had set it up just for our framework. It just XML, right? For running the test source, test batches, and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
For Maven, so in that case, is my job file will be running is a runner file. Am I correct on that?
No, can you repeat it once again?
In my previous, right, I used to run it through the XML. I just from the XML, I just click the run button and then this automatically start running my automation script and everything.
Which
right?
XML file? Which
Yeah.
XML file?
It's XML file with the page object model setting up.
Okay. Uh-huh.
And for Cucumber, what would be my scenario? Just like, is it that you mentioned test runner? Is this the one?
Yes, if you want to run your test, the test runner is the one which you have to make use of it.
So this is the one that I have to come back and then just test runner. Okay. This is the place that I have to come and just run it through, right?
Yes, if you want to run a single class or whatever it is, single feature or whatever it is. Okay. So even in the pom.xml,
mm-hmm.
in the pom.xml, we are running the runner classes. If you see here, we are running all the classes which are ending with test runner. That is login test runner and profile test runner. We are running these two things. And login test runner is actually running the login.feature, and profile test runner is actually running the profile.feature.
So yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So in a runner file, right, I have all of this, all runner, login, test, but I wanted to have it one simple text, just like, let's say, for example, in this scenario, right, you have wrote it down as a regression, so sanity testing and all, right? I want to have that in a, like, sort of like in a single, instead of running all this one by one, can that be possible to have it one particular place that where it can be run automatically, everything?
This is automatically. So what manual things are coming into this coming into picture here?
like for instance, there are 3 files, right? In a long run, the file will be is getting bigger and bigger, right? So in those scenario, I just don't want to click one by one and then run it, right? Instead of that, I want to run all of them together, one after one. Let's say, for example, all runner is completed.
Let's look at this one. All runner. Let's for your case, all runner. Let's look at this one. Okay, so which is going to run all the features which are under the features folder. Okay, so if you have a question, why login test runner and profile test runner for a specific, for each of future, okay, if that is the question that is needed for parallel execution. So you're going to run login test runner and profile test runner in parallel.
Correct.
Okay, so that is why we must needed a separate test runner for a separate future for the purpose of parallel execution. If you do not need a parallel execution, right? So in your pom.xml, just mention all test runner, right? All test runner, which is responsible of running all your feature files. So if you wonder why there is a separate runner for separate future, that is must for parallel execution. In case if you do not need a parallel execution, you can just make use of all runner.
So okay, that will execute everything, right? All the files.
That executes everything. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see that pom.xml, we give the fork count. Fork count is going to see here. There could be multiple runner classes. It could be login test runner, profile test runner, and some more. Okay. There could be multiple test runners exist. Okay. So when you say fork count, at any point of time, the JUnit will take care of running 2 test runners. It will start 2 test runners. Okay, one is finished, it will take one more thing. If one is finished, it will take one more. If 2 are finished, it will take 2 more. So at any point of time, 2 things will be executed parallelly. If we make 3, at any point of time, 3 test runners will execute parallelly. Okay, that is the one which takes care of running them in parallel.
Okay. Okay.
So not much difficult thing. Okay, so we have a feature file corresponding step definition. Step definition make use of the page classes, right? And in the hook we are initializing the driver. In the after scenario, we are closing the driver. That's all, simple. So in the initialize driver, when we are creating a driver, we're just making sure that for which browser the user is looking for, and we are creating the same driver. Depends on what value is mentioned in the config.properties. Okay, so you might require to use the same framework, in your company also. The same thing can be used. So without any extra modifications or without any extra things, as it is can be used. But only thing, make sure you create the page classes for respective of your application.
All right.
And make sure if you're using this framework right away, yes, you can make use of it. But there are sometimes you might use this framework after an year. Okay, so in that case, make sure the versions are the latest one.
Yep.
Okay, right now these versions are latest to the current moment, right? So if you are using the same framework after 6 months or after 1 year, make sure the versions are latest, because they will be keep updates.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, and other thing is that, give me today's time. I'll upload all the videos including today, and I'll share this entire project, and I'll share all the materials to all of your emails. Probably I need all of your emails in the group or in personal. Okay, some of your emails I should have it, but anyway, just once again please share it so that I'll send it right away.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So so that's pretty much it, because sometimes I don't have a time to go back to all this stuff. Sometimes I just log into the YouTube, and then I just look at the video as the video that I had done.
Upload them. Yeah, you'll probably at the end of today, you'll get all the information right away. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
And I'll send all those things. Yeah. And to the cross browser testing, Akramal, so that's the only reason I postponed just to talk about cross browser testing. I just postponed the classes up to here. Okay, otherwise I would have finished it. Okay, and I spent the whole day for that. At least some 5 to 6 hours I spent. Okay, but I couldn't get any promising solution. All are some crap solutions. Okay, which I don't like. And if you make use of that one, so you require to change a lot of your code that is not that is not aligned to the framework concepts. So that is the reason I didn't I tried it, but none of them are promising. Okay, so they are making the code crap and making more dependency. Okay, so that is not correct.
Yeah. So basically the alternative solution is just changing the browser path, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, right? So okay, just a little request to you, if you in the future if you think that you could do something.
Yes.
Right? Just do let me know, so I will try to participate that class. Okay.
Definitely. I'll involve all of you. Okay, because so that is really good thing actually. I spend a lot of time, so if I definitely get some solution, you will be remember for that concept. Whenever I get some solution, the first person I'll remember is you, so I'll definitely involve all of you.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So any other questions, Sashidhar or Akramal?
I do not have any more question, but beside that, other things that I just wanted to ask. But
maybe. Okay.
I can ask in personally, or I can have that conversation.
We can talk separately. Akram. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Thanks everyone. Any more thing before I leave the meeting? I'll share the entire details today. Just cross checking. Okay. Fine. Thanks everyone for making the training so successful. Let me know if you have any questions. If not, now later also. Thank you, Sashidhar. Thank you very much. Thanks, Akramal, and thanks for everybody who are not joined today. So, please ping me anytime if you have anything. We can discuss and we'll solve it. Okay. Thanks. Take care. Bye.
Okay.